You had the
Yeah,
guys
that he might have been getting touched up in camp. There was rumors he might have gotten stopped by Jared
yeah,
Anderson.
when you hear those kind of things, when you hear those kind of rumors at this type of high caliber fight like this, those are not rumors; those are facts.
Hmm.
Because those so-called rumors came from legitimate sources. So and to his credit, I'm not even big on none of that shit. So he had Gerard, what's the kid named Gerard Anderson
Yeah, Jared
in camp
Anderson.
with
Yeah.
Gerard Anderson in the camp with him. He had Elfie in camp with him. He had Christian in camp with him. So when I seen all those guys was in camp with him, I know for sure he was getting touched up. I will hope that's why he's bringing them in so he could fight them off and not get touched up, because that's what you do when you bringing in guys to help you get prepared, especially for the lights. You get prepared for Deontay Wilder. So it's not shocking. And is it bragging rights to me or anything like that? No, not really. Like, the best guys has gotten touched up in sparring. Like,
Yeah.
there's no big. But the thing is, when you get discouraged from that, when that can lead you to canceling the fight, when that could lead to you having demonic nightmares about you fighting Wilder, you get touched up by guys in sparring. To me, that's where the problem is. You know what I mean? He brought a bunch of undefeated guys in his camp. Guys probably got the best of him. I heard Jared Anderson had him out on his feet. I heard one guy had him knocked him down.
What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. So we just heard there from a confirmed leaked source. Now I can't let you man know who exactly it is, but what we do know is, what he did say is, yeah, it's an absolute fact. Tyson Scary got knocked out in sparring. In fact, let me quote. He got touched. Yeah? To use one of the YB's favourite words in the English language, he got touched. Yeah, some of you goofy dons don't appreciate the severity of that word. For a man to be touched, it's almost like we hear a lot about the Me Too thing and that. That's, in my mind, when I hear a man getting touched, that's what I think of. Tyson Fury at 6'9", 270 pounds, despite how big he is, despite being a trained boxer, nonetheless, he was victimized, yeah? He was touched, no doubt. He didn't want to be. That's what we know as a fact. Listen, you man tell me. Did Tyson Scary want to be put flat on his back, yes or no? No, he did not. Of course he didn't. He's preparing for arguably the hardest fight in his career to date, aka his first rematch. The last thing he wanted was to be on his back, looking up, murmuring. We've seen the footage before. Let's call a spade here. It's all kind of making sense now. I've shown you, man, the footage of Dillian White icing Tyson Fury in sparring. So it's all gone full circle. Now we know why he pulled out, because there's no way Tyson Fury is going to go into his biggest fight reliving that trauma that Dillian White gave him in sparring. Next thing you know, Jared Anderson sent him to the same place Dillian White did. Oops. Yeah, ain't no way, is there? There ain't no way. We all saw the footage, yeah, of Tyson Fury iced coldly by Dillian White. No joke. I'm going to play you, man, the sound that Tyson Fury was making. Ready? He was grumbling. His soul was screaming out. Yeah? No doubt. I've heard, listen, I ain't going to lie to you, man. It was only open for 25 years of my life. I never thought I never thought I'd see or hear or anything of someone's soul. This was the first time I realised that a soul was real. I'm not personally religious, but trust me, the noises Tyson Fury was making gave me full confidence that souls exist. Yeah, 100%. Because I heard it. How about that? Yeah. Many people say, YB, God don't exist, and it's he real. I heard him. I heard the soul. Yeah. Trust me. And all of you, I know some of you science dons who say, oh no, it's me. Yeah, the spirit don't exist. Trust me. You man watch the video and you can hear the spirit. The spirit all the way exists. No doubt. You man watch that footage. You hear Tyson Fury's soul squealing out. Even the most atheist don will become a full Bible bashing cat, no doubt, 100%. Yeah? So, let's do a bit of mental maths here. Do you think Tyson Fury wants to go into his biggest fight, his first rematch, which we now already know, he don't like doing rematches. He's already anxious. He's already ready to pull out, as it is. AKA Fury versus Vlad 2. He already fixing to pull out. Never mind being sent to Dillian White purgatory. Dillian White sparring purgatory. Next thing we know, we hear from this exclusive source that not only was licensed scary, all the way making his namesake. Nervous as you like about the rematch, we then find out that Tutu's licensed scary got sent to meet his maker in sparring by Jared Anderson. Not only that, we hear from this exclusive source that some next Don also touched him, violated him, victimized him. Yeah? So now it's all perfectly making sense to us. It's just one big... Tyson Fury's life is one big circle here. It's all adding up. It's all making perfect sense now. He never recovered. Never recovered from that Dillian White sparring session. Never did. Never has. The last thing... And that's it. It's adding up now. Now we know why Ben Davidson was taking padding out of gloves. Ben Davidson was saying, listen, I cannot afford, we must have no padding. Because the funny thing is as well, not only was Ben Davidson taking padding out of gloves, also they was giving their opponents big massive brand spanking new 20 ounce, you know what I'm saying, customised 20 ounce gloves. That's for a reason. Number one, we're going, like Ben Davidson said, listen, we're going into the biggest fight with Wilder. Can't afford to have Lyson reliving Dillian White sparring again. We must defend, you know what I'm saying? We must avoid Dillian White flashbacks by all costs. And one of the key ways of doing that, number one, give your opponents massive thick gloves. Why? Because it prevents the Dillian Whiteness, doesn't it? If you've got 50 ounce sparring gloves on, then chances are you ain't going to get touched. You ain't going to get victimised. You ain't going to get me too'd. And number two, we're going to put some 4 ounce gloves on for Tyson Fury with no padding in, so that he hurting people and not getting hurt, essentially. Yeah? That's what did happen with Ben Davidson. Oops. Ben Davidson got thrown out of the camp. And now, and this is the thing you see, I reckon what's happened is, Licensed Scary, not only has he been on a massive bender, so his brain's already half scrambled. He's already kind of feeling himself. We saw him at the beach, getting massaged by some next lasses. So he's feeling himself, yeah? Been on a bender for 12 months, so he's not fit. But anyway, he's got all this kind of outside gassing, this outside confidence. So when Sugar Smith, his trainer, says, yo, let's get some sparring partners in, Licensed Scary on a bender in the casino, off the white heavy, he thinking, yeah, I know what, let's bring all in it. He started wheeling off all the top names. Yeah, we'll bring Java down, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring all the young bucks in. Because I'm the king of the castle, kind of thing. Obviously, mid-sesh kind of thing. Because what we know is, Sugar Smith, he was in the middle of the session as well. In fact, they probably both cooked it up together. Yeah? Mid-sesh, and they're all, oh yeah, I tell you what we'll do. Let's bring all the young guns in, let's fill them in. Oh, 100%. Sugar Smith, Tyson Fury, bouncing off the walls, bouncing on the tables, and in the middle of doing so, mid-sesh, they was working out their sparring plans. 100%. 2-2s. Like I told you, man, Tyson Fury, he been partying. He been hanging out with boxing's number one delinquent, Adrian Broner. He ain't been training. So Mr. Tyson Fury rocks up, not been training in a lick. And by the way, people say things to me like, why be? Of course he was training. Well, what do we know? We know proof he weren't training. John Fury, who sent Tommy Fury, John Fury, who sent Tommy Fury to his brother Tyson in Miami and said, listen, Tommy, make sure you're training with Tyson. Oops. Tommy Fury gets back, gets filled in, What's the next random journeyman, Don? And it comes out in the wash that Tommy Fury weren't training out there. Oops. So we know categorically Tommy Fury, who was sent out there to train, weren't training. Because guess what? His brother weren't training. Like I said, it's all the pieces are fitting in now, right now. So Tyson Fury, on a bender, feeling himself, booking in top sparring partners in the middle of a session, rocks up to the sparring, not fit because he ain't been training a lick, he been partying, he stay partying. He stay with next lasses, get putting all the cream all on his body. Next thing you know, as we've heard from the CI, confidential informant, he got iced in sparring. I've got another video coming soon. This right here is just the CI speaking. Oh, YB, well, how do we know your confidential informant's correct? Well, your man the YB, in a video coming to you man soon, you're gonna drop the exclusive pictures. Ain't no one seen these pictures, and you best believe they're coming in hot right now or soon. Soonly is they coming. And you can see for yourself. You man can tell me what you thought was happening in them sparring sessions. Because the photos I'm going to drop to you, man, is one piece of evidence short of pure KO footage. Yeah? No doubt. And Tyson Scary didn't have Ben Davis. That's another thing I forgot to miss out. So not only has he booked this mad sparring with Sugar Smith on a bender together, he gets there unfit, gets filled in. Ben Davison weren't there to bail him out this time, was he? You think you man forgot that, didn't you? You forgot Ben Davison weren't there to bail him out and play with the gloves and whatnot. Do the magic glove trick. Oops. He got filled in. Simple as that. He got filled in. Yeah, he got filled in. And like the confidential informant says, this weren't no lie, it wasn't no nothing, it wasn't no rumour, it's a fact. That's what it is. It's a fact. The same way Dillian White icing Tyson Scary on camera is a fact. Yeah? This is what it is, and I know Tyson Fury fans are going to be mad. Oh no, YB, it's really C19. Listen, and to be honest with you, yeah, they didn't sell many tickets, but thinking about it, people have said, well, he pulled out because of ticket sales. Don't get me wrong, the ticket sales sucked, but that wasn't the reason. How can we prove that? Well, if it was about ticket sales, Tyson Scary, he wouldn't take the brunt on his own, would he? Think about it. Okay, our fight isn't, and bearing in mind it's 50-50, so wait a minute, our fight isn't selling well. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do, I'll blame myself then. I'll make up a fake C19 story and take the brunt of it. Don't make no sense. No one's going to do that. No one would agree to take, especially not someone like Tyson Fury, who's egotistical. There's no way he's going to damage his own brand if he can help it. Especially not going to give Wilder a leg up. So what that proves is that, yeah, the ticket sucked, but that wasn't the reason it was called off. It was called off for a reason specific to Tyson Fury. Oops. That reason was he got filled in. He got a good filling in as well. The pictures will show you, man, and the confidential informant, the CI Don, you've heard it from him. And we know for a fact the YB sources don't miss. Yeah? I was the first man to tell you, man, this what happened as well. No doubt. No Ben Davison there to fiddle with the gloves. And the worst thing is, well, the funny thing is, what do we know? Before the Fury fight, yeah? I'm sure it was before the Wilder fight. The man came out and said, or the sparring partner came out and said, he'd been playing with the gloves. And then it was after the Wilder fight, we all saw the footage of the gloves looking goofy. Isn't that amazing? If that makes sense. Well, what a coincidence. You get told before the fight that he likes to play with gloves, and then we see in the fight the gloves are super fruity. And I'm sure there's I know there's neutral dons out there who say that, oh, there's nothing wrong. But you man, show me any other fighter with gloves that have looked like that, just in history. Just show me it. Yeah, just show me it. Don't talk. Don't give opinion. Show me other fighters. 'Cause if it's just about, oh well, you know what I'm saying? If it's just one of them ones, there should be example. Out of the thousands of fights in history, show me another one that looks like that. Oops, you can't. So the gloves were fruity. I've always said that. The gloves look sus. I've never seen AJ with all the goofy gloves like that. I've never seen nothing like it. And that's what it is. No doubt. Now, to be fair to Licensed Scary, I've always said also that that's equally on Wilder's team. Yeah? If your team allows that, and or if you don't do nothing about it, that's on you, isn't it? You saw the footage. You didn't say nothing. You ain't launch no court case or whatever. You ain't protest during or after the fight. That's on you. Ain't on no one else. But anyway, listen. Lyson, he got aired out. End of the day. He exposed. Yeah? And what we know now is, in a way after, and that's what, to be fair, you even hear there from the CI. The CI says, I have to credit Lyson for bringing in the hard level sparring partners, because he is right to an extent. And that's where Tyson Fury went wrong. He thought that, I'll tell you a lie, the CI is right in as much as you are supposed to bring in hard sparring partners to get better, so that you're better than them, if that makes sense. That old saying Errol Spence likes to use, iron sharpens iron. But that's only the case when you're also, you best make sure you're iron. You best make sure you're cast iron, because if you ain't, you get filled in. And like I've explained throughout this video, Licensed Scary ran into camp. Well, Licensed Scary booked his sparring in the middle of a sesh and was feeling himself too nicely. He wasn't thinking rationally. Wait there a minute, I haven't been training. Let's start, you know what I'm saying? Let's build up to this sparring. No. He went from doing nothing, sitting around partying, raving, to going in there with top dogs. His ego got the best of him. And we have heard, well, we know categorically that taking certain substances, they can make you confidence, make you feel like you're too nice, make you feel like you're the man. Yeah, Licensed Scary, when he booked his sparring, he thought he was the man. And then 2-2s, he went in there and found out that there's young bucks on their job. There are young bucks on their job. They love touching. They stay touching. Fury got touched all over. Yeah, he violated right now. No doubt. He me too'd. That's what he is. Yeah, but at least he learned a valuable lesson from now on. From now on, and this is one thing I will say about the CI. From now on, Licensed Scary will make sure he only ever books sparring partners similar to Deontay Wilder's level. Because you best believe Deontay Wilder, he stay booking the laziest sparring partners, aka the Magic Man, the Ghost, the Magic Man Ghost, the Phantom, Malik Scott. Yeah, because it's one thing bringing Tyson, Licensed Scary learnt the hard way that you don't bring in top sparring partners. Your best bet is do what Deontay Wilder does. Bring in dons who jump on the floor. Bring in dons, yeah, that you beat by your opponent jumping on the floor. That's the best sparring partner you can get. And that's why we see, and that's why Deontay Wilder can't fight a lick on the inside. Or he can't fight, sorry. There's boxing and there's fighting. Deontay Wilder can't fight. He never trained to fight, because he in there with people who jump on the floor. No doubt. But Licensed Scary, you've been exposed. The CI's on you. You got touched, and that's that. What you need to do is repent. Yeah? You must repent. Shame. You know, on that Game of Thrones thing. You must repent, and just chalk it up. The fans would have respected you a lot more, yeah, if you came out and said, listen, me and Sugar Smith have been on a mad one for the last 6 months. We was feeling ourselves too nicely. Yeah? And it was the week before we booked the sparring partners, we was going hard in the paint. We was. And at that point in time, you know what I'm saying? We weren't thinking rationally, and we started booking sparring partners in 2-2s. We got to training, and I got touched. Yeah, I've learnt a valuable lesson, and it's one of them ones. I don't want to end up like AJ did against Ruiz and go in there concussed, so they're going to have to delay this. All the fans would, or everyone would, of course you'd have got some backlash and people would have got off all over you having a good laugh, but at least then you'd have owned it. People would have said, wow man, that's a true champion there. He owning it. He owning his mistakes. Instead, you lied, and guess what? The truth came out anyway, because the YB's got CIs in the camp. Oops. Yeah, you got oopsed anyway. All that to get oopsed anyway. No doubt.